instead of just lining all these brew apparatus up just to show off what we have in the shop, really the purpose is it actually makes it easier for me to talk about the cups produced from these by demonstrating the spectrum. And then I can talk about the extremes and then the points in between. So with the Chemex, you're using a paper filter. And it's a bonded paper filter, and it turns out to be pretty thick. That's part of the reason why it's going to take 3.5 to 4 minutes to get this cup brewed. But as a result of this filter paper, the thickness and the brew time, it's going to produce a very clarified cup. So by analogy, if you think about tea, if you had like a jasmine orange tea and you drank that cup and you're like, yes, there's notes of jasmine and orange, two distinct notes on the palate. That's what this does with coffee. It clarifies the cup. So you can say, oh yes, there's a little bit of coffee cherry, there's a little bit of melon. This helps clarify those notes so you experience it. But again, because of the thickness and what this is going to hold back, the oils, the bigger molecules, the body of this cup's going to be a bit thinner. Now, when you look at the French press and you look at that filter system, and you hold it up to the light, basically it's a perforated metal disc with almost like a screen door on it. So that as a result, big molecules and the small teeny tiny particles from the ground coffee are going to get into the cup. And that means it's going to produce a big mouthfeel because there's going to be more in the cup to experience in your palate. But because of that dirtiness, that muddledness, it's going to be a less clarified cup. So they're two different experiences. They're two different presentations of the cup, and they're developed or used to bring out different aspects of the same coffee. But again, it's also the decision is, you know, what do you like to taste? What do you enjoy? It's like picking a wine. But also, what does your life have time for in terms of brewing in the morning or brewing in the evening? Realistically, how and when are you going to be able to use these elements? From here, from the Chemex to the Wave, you have essentially drip coffee. That's what this is. On this side, you have immersively brewed coffee. So all these on this side, the entire time that it takes to brew the cup, you're going to have to be participating. On this side, the time it takes to brew the cup, once you pretty much set it up, you just have to hit your numbers for the extraction to finish up the brew. So you're not actively participating in the 4 minutes it takes to brew the cup for these. Time brewing guidelines, those are in fact just guidelines to sort of help feedback in a loop into how you should grind it, how long it takes to brew, but ultimately what it tastes like in your mouth.